What's going on, y'all? Thanks so much for opening this email. And if you got this email forwarded to you, hello for the very first time. My name is Vannesia, and I am a marketing consultant, but I also kick out motivational blogs every Monday morning. So welcome to the family. All right, so today's blog post is gonna be all about the 9 reasons why you should stay at your job. I know I wrote a blog about quitting, and I'm gonna link that below in the blog and in this video as well. But just in case you actually are talking about, oh, my job is killing me and oh, I wanna quit. Look, that ain't the move, sis, okay? Sometimes you need to stay at your job, and I'm gonna give you 9 reasons why. Reason number 1, your job pays the bills. I mean, it's kind of pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know how many young adults I've talked to and people that are my peers, they're like, oh my God, I want to quit my job. But your job provides you a way to eat and live and have a roof over your head and all that jazz. So don't shade your job because it does pay your bills. Sometimes you have to look at your expenses and see, okay, maybe I need to get a roommate. Maybe I need to stop eating out as much in the fast food line. So maybe your income isn't the problem. It could be your expenses, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Reason number 2. Your job provides stability. Now, being an entrepreneur or even a freelancer or however you classify yourself, sometimes it can be a little shaky. So you may have clients that don't pay on time, or sometimes they're on a net 30 versus a net 15, which means they take 30 days to pay you versus 15 days to pay you, or pay upon, pay upon receipt when they immediately get the invoice. So when you work with large companies, they don't flip money that fast, okay? So you want to make sure that you understand your job provides stability. It's a way for you to get a check every 2 weeks or every 1st and the 15th, however you get paid, or the 30th and the 14th, whatever. But it provides stability. So don't overlook that and don't take that for granted. Reason number 3, your current job provides a schedule. Girl. Okay, so a lot of people come up to me when I do presentations, especially when I do my Put Some Muscle Behind Your Hustle sessions. And a lot of them say, if I didn't have to go to work, I'd be able to do my thing all day long, or I'd be disciplined. Look, I'm gonna be very honest with you. If you're not disciplined at your job, you will not be disciplined when no one is telling you what time to get up. And I know you want, all 24 hours in a day to be yourself, but entrepreneurs and freelancers, it's never like that. So there are a lot of times, especially if you do a lot of one-on-one client work, some of your time gets allotted to those clients, or prepping for meetings, or prepping for presentations. Even if you are a speaker or whatever the case is, even if you have a product-based business, your time isn't always your own. So I want to kind of debunk the myth that, if I didn't have this job, I'd had all the time in the world. You wouldn't. So your job provides a schedule. Start to structure your day around your job. I always tell people that come up to me, treat your job like it's your side hustle and your passion project like it's your main thing. And so if you flip that in your head just a little bit, then you will give your job its just due and come on time and leave on time and do your work, because hey, this is just a side hustle. I got to get back to my main job. So reason number 4, your job can provide on-the-job training. I mentioned this in one of my blogs before, and you can go check it out, but you can always ask your employer to pay for extra training for you in a certain area. When I first started at Motown Gospel, that was the job that I was working. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about Photoshop, anything about InDesign, anything about Final Cut, none of that stuff. So I immediately found classes and courses and certifications, and I would always ask if I can get in these programs and if they could pay for it. I wouldn't have had $500 to get a certification, but the label did, okay? So I went in there and I said, this is how this is going to directly relate to my job experience. Is this something that you all can pay for? And they did. And I had the certification, even though I'm not still at that job anymore. So be smart about it. Okay, reason number 5. See, we're flying through these already. Reason number 5 why you should stay at your job is that you learn about all the red tape that is relative to your industry. For example, in the music industry, when you work with a major distribution chain, sometimes it can take about 3 to 4 weeks to upload a video to Vivo and YouTube. It's not just the same as if I were to upload this video. You have to go through clearances, make sure the publishing's all done, make sure the closed captioning's on the video, all of that stuff. Everything has to be cleared. If not, you'll see that nice little screen that somebody blocked this video in this country because it didn't go through all the proper channels. I learned that when I was working at my previous employer, and now one of my clients is Sony's gospel division, and I knew that going into that. So before working with them, I had a lot of previous information that I learned while I was running the digital space at my other job. So it made me much more of an asset because I knew the landscape and I knew the space. And so when I'm creating campaigns or I'm pitching to them ideas, I can do it from a frame of reference that is relevant, okay? So there may be clearances that you need relative to your industry. You may need to know how to have a press list, how to write a pitch letter, all these different things, not just relative to media, but whatever you're interested in, you need to learn all of that before you go out on your own, you get slapped with the fine, or you go out on your own and your idea doesn't happen because you did not do the proper training and did not learn all the nuances that you could have learned at an employer. And speaking of learning, this goes right into number 6, is that you can mess up on someone else's dime. So I'll give you another example. Before I was at the label, I worked at a marketing promotions firm in Cincinnati under a radio promoter, and she's like one of the top radio promoters in the gospel music industry. She's super amazing, and I was the marketing assistant, right? And so we were planning this major conference, and I completely forgot to book a flight for an artist. And the flight went up $250 overnight. I was mortified. Not only was I mortified because I forgot to do it, I was mortified because I had to go in and tell the CEO, like, hey girl, I forgot to book this flight. I remember I felt really, really bad about it because it was on my to-do list, but I was just so nervous about booking flights. I was not good at it back in the day. I used to hate booking flights. So I was so nervous about, okay, do I have all the information? Do I have the Rapid Rewards number? Do I have the Delta Sky Miles number? So it just kind of slipped my mind because I really didn't want to do it. And I remember asking her, I said, well, why do you keep giving me stuff if I keep messing up? And she told me, she's like, I know you're going to mess up. You're new to this. And so it kind of alleviates some of the pressure because you're allowed to mess up when you're in a job or position that you don't know, right? Now, that's not an excuse to go ahead and just do whatever you want to do. But when you're with an employer, the mistakes are not on your dime. When I mess up in my own business or when I subcontract out work and this messed up, it costs me. And that's happened to me before where I had to bear the cost, time and money of someone else's mistake. Okay, so do all your mess ups while you're at your current employer. All right, reason number 7 why you should stay at your job is that you have a commute to and from work. And I know that you're kind of going to overlook like why I'm sitting in traffic, but sometimes your best ideas can come in the car or in transition from one place to the next. But when you work from home, like this is my home office, when you work from home, I don't have a commute. So I get up and I go straight into work, which doesn't always make for the best atmosphere. So you want to make sure that you're using your commuting time back and forth, or even if you ride the train or whatever, again, going back to your schedule, you use that time wisely because it really can foster your creativity, especially navigating in different spaces. And since we're talking about breaking up the monotony of the day, reason number 8 is spot on that too. You have coworkers. So look around. There's no one here. So you have coworkers at your job. And although I do a lot of things in the online space as far as talking to people, working with people across the country, I love the beautiful things that technology has brought to us and the fact that we can communicate with people and be sort of face to face. But I don't have people with me. I'm not feeding off of the physical energy that's in the room or the synergy that can happen when you're across the table from your coworker brainstorming. So you have coworkers. Now, they may be getting on your nerves, but you have coworkers and people to talk to and to interact with. And there's something about the human touch that can really help foster your creativity and can help you generate more ideas and just have that synergy that's in person. And lastly, reason number 9 of why you should stay at your job is that there's typically a hierarchy. When you are an entrepreneur, when you are a small business owner, when you are a freelancer, all those different things, there are all these people under you, but typically you're the top, right? So there's no one to turn to necessarily to bounce ideas off of unless you're in a mastermind or you have a business coach. So you are the final say. Sometimes that responsibility can be a lot. Even if you are someone who is very, organized and you have good decision making and you're very wise, if you don't have a peer or someone that's higher above you to bounce ideas off of, it can be a little nerve-wracking to be the one making all the decisions. So definitely, I know your boss may be getting on your nerves, but be grateful that she or he is in the position so that you can mess up and you don't necessarily get all the blame for it. So we made it to the end. Yay! If you're still like, nah sis, I'm out, don't forget to check out my other blog post about quitting your job. I also included a template for your 2 weeks notice. You can copy and paste and use it to turn in your 2 weeks and to leave professionally, because you never know when you're gonna have to go back again. So again, my name is Vannesia Darby, and you can sign up to receive my blogs in your inbox at vanessiadarby.com. Don't forget to check out my other blog posts and let me know if any of this was helpful for you. I would love to continue to push out more content. So LMK. All right? Don't forget to hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at Vannesia Darby, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.